Hey guys, so I'm logged in as Brian Narula with Sunflower Bank, and I'm going to show you some of the features as a tour host. So after you've logged in, the first place that the app's going to take you to is My Tours. And under My Tours, lists all of the tours that you're going to be part of for the current month and maybe even the following month. So, for instance, under My Tours for Brian, he is hosting the Chandler Tour tomorrow. And then he also is hosting the June 16th Old Town Scottsdale B Tour. For tomorrow's tour, you notice that, of course, the date, the time, and the meeting place. What we've really been focusing on with the software upgrade is to make it much easier to read. The old app was probably 10-year-old design, and honestly, I was sick of it. And so what we've been really focusing on is to provide an app that is much easier to read, easier to understand, so that the agents, the sponsors, and the tour hosts can better use the app. So again, each tour will show the name of the tour. Below it shows how many homes in tour, the date, the time, the meeting place address, and then it says, what's the next step? The next step is to end the tour and give feedback. It also lists the hosts and any sponsors. We have some sponsors that will be signing up later today, but right now, Brian Narula with Sunflower Bank is the tour host. Try to make the name, the phone number, and email nice and large for the agents to review. They can also go and click on the phone number and automatically connect it to their phone app. So below that, you see two buttons, either view feedback or enter tour. Enter tour, of course, is what you're going to do to enter the tour. The view feedback button, we're actually making it so that the tour hosts have access to all the feedback. I get at least one agent, maybe two agents per tour that say, I never received my feedback. So then I have to email them, say, hey, log into indigosky.io, go to My Tours, go to Prior Tours, scroll down, and you'll see View Feedback. And usually what happens is the agents ask the tour host, then the tour host has to ask me. So it's just one big loop. And so I just made the View Feedback and all the feedback available to all the to all the hosts, so you can just automatically forward the feedback to those agents when they request it. But again, they will have view feedback and share feedback on their app also. Okay, enter tour. That's how you get into the tour. And when you enter the tour, first you're gonna see at the top is, again, give feedback. It's giving me progress. 1 of 7 homes is completed or skipped. Brian and I were testing earlier, so he left feedback on one of the homes. Currently, there's 2 of 7 homes additional to go, so you can just follow the route order. And the next action is give feedback. I want to point out the next 3 things. First is this QR code. And you click on it, the QR code opens up. I know there's always at least 2 agents on tour who show up at 8:30 and say, oh, I haven't logged in yet. What's the website to go to? And you have to tell them indigosky.io. Of course, they spell it incorrectly or they don't know how to get to it. And that just causes undue stress for you as tour hosts. By giving them the QR code, they can use their mobile phone, scan it, and get taken to the website immediately. Hopefully, this will decrease some of the stress for you folks. And oh, by the way, everyone has access to this QR code. So if there's another agent and another agent asks them, hey, how do I get to this website? That agent can open up this QR code also. Okay, edit meeting place. As you know, you get last minute cancellations, and sometimes the cancellation is the meeting place address. So we made it very easy for you to edit the meeting place address. All you have to do is click on this button, and then it shows what the current meeting place address is, but you can go ahead and select a different one also. We also have listed, the order of homes on what makes for a good meeting place address and what does not. So for instance, 9525 East Champaign Drive, we've highlighted that, gate code may limit access. So, don't choose that home if you can help it. But these other homes, they make for pretty good meeting place addresses. I'm not going to do it, but the way you do is you click one of those, for instance, this one here, then you click Save Meeting Place. But again, I'm not going to do it because it's a live tour that's going to happen tomorrow. Let's cancel out of this. Okay. Next item, edit tour route and remove listings. Again, last minute, we get agents that say, hey, I can't make it. Or could be even the morning of the tour that say, hey, I can't make it. So what we've done is gone ahead and provide you a list of all the homes here. You can move the listings up and down. For instance, Runway Bay. Well, before I do that, the meeting place address you can't move up and down because the meeting place address is the first home on tour always. So if you notice, the up or down arrows don't work. But Runway Bay, I can move it down. Maybe she doesn't want to be the second home on tour, but she wants to be the third home on tour. So the host can move it. The host can also delete that person, okay? It has the listing agent name, the listing property, and so we've done this. If you get a phone call from, let's say, Shirley, and Shirley says, hey, my listing just went under contract at 1054 East Golden Court. I can't be on tour tomorrow. Okay, you're like, that's great. You're on home number 4 right now. Let me hit the deletion button and it gets deleted. For any deletion the day before the tour, the route can be automatically changed. What I mean by that is if you remove a listing 2 days prior to the tour, then it probably will change a route. And when that happens, you and all the tour participants will receive an email with the updated route. Anyway, I think that's a pretty cool feature we've added to it now. Again, easier to use, and really puts the power of the tour in the agent's hands. Sorry, in the host's hand. But we're not gonna do anything right now because it's a live tour tomorrow. Okay, now, first home on tour. 244 East Mead Drive, Chandler, Arizona. Each listing has the listing address in nice large font. We also have the ETA. And the ETA gives a rough estimate as to how long you'll be there, and the drive time. So for the first listing, we always have it from 8:30 to 9 a.m. That's a hard time we set. We figure by the time agents get there, some people are late. You have to explain the rules of the tour. You have to get everyone together. You have to show them how to use the app. So that takes some time. So we figure you got 30 minutes at the first house. Then house number 2 at 4394 East Runway Bay, it says ETA 9 a.m. to 9:21. That is drive time plus an assumption of 10 minutes at the home to tour and give feedback. So we think you'll be at that house between 9 to 9:21. Glen Drive, we think you'll be there between 9:21 to 9:41. Again, that's looks like 10-minute drive plus a 10-minute give feedback. And then same thing here. House number 5, it's 10:02 to 10:05, so it looks closer to 23 minutes. So this isn't just set to 10 minutes, but whatever we think or whatever Google says is the drive time plus 10 minutes to give feedback. And what we're trying to do is trying to give you a better idea as to where do you stand in the tour. And it'll allow us to keep track of, has the tour gone longer than what we think it should, so we can figure out what's going on. It also has, if you notice, below each listing, or it has a gate code, you can actually add the gate code. Okay, so for instance, home number 2, the listing in, she's like, oh yeah, there's a gate code. You can click here, you can enter the gate code, save gate code, and that gets updated for everyone. Everyone has to refresh. And the way you refresh any app is, what you do is, you just take it and you pull down and you let it go. And that will refresh the app, so if there's any updates to the data, any updates to the tour, it gets updated. Let's enter the tour again. Okay. So, As a test case yesterday to try the app, Brian went ahead and left feedback. After he left feedback, the enter feedback turned into edit feedback. So anyone can go back and edit their feedback. And what they do is they go back here and then they change their feedback. Let's go back. Okay. Now after Brian left feedback on home number 1, it automatically takes into home number 2. And if you notice, there's a nice little orange outline letting everyone know which home they're at. And so now everyone is either going to or is at 4394 East Runaway Bay Drive. It says ready now, and that's the next home up, and then enter feedback. We also added the skip feature. And I know before we had skip, but you couldn't unskip. And that was always a problem. There was some agent that said, hey, I'm gonna skip giving this home because let's go to my listing, and it just caused a lot of problem. So today, if everyone skips, okay, that person skipped, okay? But if you notice, there's an unskip. So if an agent skips a listing accidentally, they can always unskip and go back and give feedback. And then let's talk about enter feedback. When you click on enter feedback, it's gonna have the listing details, which is bedrooms, bathrooms, square foot. They can add the gate code there also. And they can either leave it expanded or they can close it with this little drop down. Listing agent information's here too. Again, Christy Newman. If anyone wants to ask her a question, they could do it right there. And then when you give feedback, we've tried to make the yes/no question a little bit more descriptive, but larger font and easy to read. Things aren't cramped in a smaller space. So buyer appeal, is there too much clutter? No, it looks good. Yes, needs attention. Too personalized, same thing. And again, we also found that by checking off on everything that's no looks good, that's 50% less feedback you have to give. So all you have to give, if you disagree, if you do think it's too dark, then you say yes. But if you don't think it's too dark, you just leave it alone. And so we're hoping that'll just make the tour a little bit easier to go through, less cognitive overload, less things to think about, and we'll see how that goes. At the bottom again, pricing. Will this home likely receive an offer in the next 2 weeks? Not yet. Yes. Blah blah blah. Current list price $550. Like you sell price, again, it comes down to the listing agent. Ask them what they think about it. Advice to seller. Here again, you're going to list what do you like about the house and don't like about the house. And then when you hit submit feedback, you automatically take it to next home. And I'll kind of show what that looks like by going back and clicking on edit feedback here. I'll just make one change to Brian's feedback. I'll say no, and I'll just say submit feedback. And there you go. And it automatically took you to the second home. We're trying to do these just small little things that makes it a little bit easier for the agents to use the app, for the host to use the app, and just make the tour moving. And just make the app a little bit more intuitive. The next thing I want to point out is, if you notice the direction icon is in the top right-hand corner of every listing. In orange is that arrow. So it's next to 4394 East Runaway Bay Drive. Again, click on that, and that'll connect to whatever mapping app that you've set up on your phone. I have Google Maps, so that's what it is at. Okay, anyway, that's how it is. At the very end of the tour, it'll say complete, the tour. And so it'll let you know the tour is done. Here, there's 7 homes in tour, with 9525 East Champagne Drive being the last home. And then we also have at the bottom tour participants. Agents have wanted an easier way to get the contact information. And so here we have it. You can literally just go through, make phone calls as a follow-up. Listing agents. Okay. Next version, we're going to allow you to download a CSV file, but that's to be later. Okay, that's my tours. All right, as a sponsor, you're like, all right, I need to sponsor some tours. And so let's say you're gonna sponsor an East Mesa tour. You go find it and you click on sponsor this tour. Anyway, this is, you go to available tours when you're ready to sponsor some tours. This is for the sponsors, not the hosts. Profile. Profile is something that I need everyone to go in and update their credit card information. Please do this as soon as possible. Add the payment method, add credit card, blah, blah, blah. And this is important because we didn't take your credit card information from the old software that actually resides with Stripe. And when we went to the new software, we can't take the data from Stripe from the old one to the new one. So everyone is gonna have to add their payment method again. At the very top right-hand corner, you can't see here, but there's also a 3 menu bar. You can see it here. Oops, let me get back to it. Okay, the 3 menu bars, you have prior tours, you've got a support. If you click on support, you can send us a support ticket. And you can log out and you can delete your account if you want to, which I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. But hey, there may be someone that doesn't like our service and app. Can you go to My Tours? All right. I do also want to talk about, and this is very important, everyone is asking for when do we get this website into the App Store. And we have designed this software for it to be a personal web app. What that means is it's a way to get the icon on your mobile phone. So I have the iPhone right now. And so at the bottom, you'll see indigosky.io. And next to that is a box with an arrow going through it. And what that is, that's a share icon. So when I click on the share icon, okay, it allows me to share this app to other people. But when I click on view more, there's other features, there's other services. What I'm gonna look for is add to home screen. And everyone's iPhone has a little bit different menu item here, okay? Some people have the indigosky.io address on the top of the screen, others have at the bottom of the screen. But anyway, whatever it is, you should wanna look for add to home screen, okay? When I click on add to home screen, I give it a name. And what it's gonna do is gonna go ahead and add this icon to my home screen so I don't have to go to indigosky.io every single time. Add. All right, so here you go. In fact, you can see it. Right next to Alaska Hawaii Airlines, I have a new icon that says Indigo Sky. And so that's actually my app. I just downloaded an app to my iPhone on my home screen. And I'm gonna go ahead and close out the website, okay? And when I'm on my home screen here and I wanna find out my Indigo Sky, I can search for it. Okay, I've got multiple ones in there, and I click to that. And guess what? It opened up. So it's opened up now, and I have it on my home screen. So anyway, that's our new software for Indigo Sky. If you have any questions, give me a call. We're happy to help you out. There's gonna be a few bugs as we launch this. That's just part of software development, but we can get these issues resolved quickly and easily. And I would love your input as to what you think about it in your software. And if there's anything else you think we need to change about it, we've taken all the software development in-house now, so I can make all the changes myself. And we don't have to worry about waiting for overnight for a tech team in India. We just have to get away from that. Anyway, take a look at this. Let me know what you think about it. And I'd love to get your input. And of course, we're here to help you out any way we can. Thanks.